A couple of days ago, I picked up a Warhammer Underworld starter set for only 20 bucks, and it came complete with miniatures, everything. But it was the 2023 version, which meant what exactly? While I had the miniatures, I needed to start painting. But I never painted Stormcast Eternals before, so judging strictly by the artwork, I wanted to see how close I can get to that, or something that at least looks good. And this is what came out. What do you guys think? Did you like how it came out? I'm awfully proud of how my Stormcast Eternals teams look now. But if you're interested in getting the same results for yourself, I'm gonna keep it neat and simple. I prefer AK paints, but you can exchange these paints for whatever paints you prefer. Perhaps you like Vallejo more, or Citadel, or Two Fin Coat, or whatever else. Now here is everything that I used if you just want to pause the video and simply get the name of the paints. If not, I'm gonna run you step by step. First and one of the most important steps, let's base coat. What are we gonna base coat with it? Retributor armor? I'm sorry, that thing is just too expensive. I don't think it's worth the money. So instead, I went for Greedy Gold, which is roughly half the price. Now, Greedy Gold is a little bit fiddly. It doesn't really provide a whole lot of paint adhesion, sadly, but you can definitely get around it. I recommend you do very thin coats and a lot of them. This result, believe it or not, took me about 17 coats. It's not thick, no details are blocked out, because after about 5 coats, it basically looked like this. So take your time, don't rush, and make sure you have optimal spraying conditions. If you want to know more about priming your minis, hey, I got a nifty video in the cards right now. Now that we have our miniatures primed, it's time for those base layers. And the most important base layer, a lot of hobbyists would argue, go over your primer with a similar or the exact same tone color so you can correct mistakes easier later on. So if I want to keep it lore accurate right now, if that's you, then in that case you want to pick up from Games Workshop Retributor armor from the pot and just simply go over the entire mini or all of the metal-y surfaces. I, however, don't really do that because I use my primer as a base layer. I know I'm a heathen like that, but it saves up so much time and a little bit of paint as well. And as you can see, it comes out really well, depending on your execution. But if you want to have a bit more leeway in making mistakes, definitely go with another layer of Retributor armor, Greedy Gold, or whatever gold you prefer. For the shoulder pads and the tabard, we're going to be using Deep Blue. As for the Overgrown Pigeon, as a base layer, Archaic Turquoise from AK Interactive, phenomenal, beautiful color. Deep Green for the leaves that you will find on the base. Now for the hilt of the axes, I recommend Wine Red, but you can use whatever color fits your fancy. What about that hair? What are we gonna be using that flaming locks of whatever that is? Scarlet Red from AK looks absolutely phenomenal. We're gonna be highlighting everything just a tad later. Black for everything that needs to be black. A little bit of yellow for the beak and the claws as well, for the talons of the pigeon. Now bear in mind, if you use straight up deep yellow from AK, it's too yellowy. Make sure you add a drop of white just to make it a bit more pale. Brass for any other details that need to be metallic-ish, gold-ish, but not quite that gold color if you want to make it feel like a different kind of metal. Natural steel for the top and front part of the crossbows. As for the base, that is a very rich, deep, dark brown. So use Gorgon Brown as a base, then simply add a little smidge of AK Black. Any gray that you want for those tiles on the bases. And finally, for the lightning bolts on the shoulder pads, use white. Any white will do. If you're feeling fancy, you can go off-white and then simply do a white highlight, or you can go for a really bright aquamarine or turquoise. The one that I recommend is from the Army Painter. Make sure you brighten up with a bunch of white. But if you want to go simple, any white will do, and just leave it alone. And you know what that means, right? You're done. You're basically almost done because your base colors are in. Now for the fun part. But at least that's why I keep telling my wife. Anyway, regardless of that, we're gonna go into shading next. I gotta give it to Games Workshop when it comes to shading and Citadel color. Though Citadel color now has become Warhammer Paint or something like that. Regardless, we're gonna need the fantastic trio. Rykon Flesh Shade. Now this one will be used for all of the brass/gold part. You wanna use this one and you wanna use quite a bit of it because if you just put a thin layer, basically nothing will happen unless you look at it through a microscope. We're gonna be using Agrax Earthshade as well. Now Agrax Earthshade you wanna use on the stones on the base, and finally Nuln Oil over everything that is metallic or gunmetal, as well as the loincloth, the shoulders, the hair, and the Overgrown Pigeon as well. With shading done and dry, we're gonna move into highlights. Now, there's a couple of ways you can go about this. You can manually sketch them in, and more power to you, but my hand gets awfully shaky and jittery, and I start getting sweaty when I do highlights. And you know what? They never really come out exactly the way I want them to. So instead, what you can do is a very simple method, very beginner-oriented, dry brushing. You can carefully dry brush your highlights on, and that's exactly what I did on these models. Now, the brush I recommend is the Army Painter Wargamer Small Dry Brush. It's an inexpensive dry brush. You can use a couple a month if you want to. It's synthetic hair, and more importantly, it's got not the dome shape. I prefer the smaller, sharper spatula approach because this gives me more control on how much material and where exactly am I putting into the mini, and this is what I use for all of my highlights. What about the colors though? When it comes to the hair, we're going to be using AK Deep Orange. We're also going to be using Warm Gray on everything that is fur. The base color for the fur or the back of the clothes was Vallejo Gorgon Brown. Now, I didn't mention this one simply because you can use any brown you want. This is a very saturated, deep brown. I do recommend this one for all of your brown needs. And you can light up or dark it up depending on what you need. The frog green is what I used on the leaves on the base. It really helps them pop if you just give them a small highlight, nothing too fancy. And of course, silver, as bright of a silver as you can get, a metallic silver for all the metallic surfaces. I'm talking about the sword, the crossbows, and this is what we also use to do all the highlights on the armor as well. Now, before we call it done, there's still one very important step. Do you want to play with your miniatures? Because if you do and you keep on handling them, you might ruin your paint. Let's talk about varnishes. You see, the Stormcast Eternals are a bit difficult because they have portions that should be matted out and portions that shouldn't be matted out. If you just simply use matte varnish over the entire figure, if you spray it on, you're gonna be dulling all of that metal surface that we work so hard to bring out and make pop. So even though this is not very beginner friendly, I'm gonna be recommending you use two varnishes. The first of which is called Satin Varnish by Vallejo. You can simply use it from the pot, mix it with a touch of water. The ratio is about 3 drops of varnish to 1 drop of water, and simply brush it on the model. This will go on everything that is metallic, so basically 80% of the model. And everything else that doesn't need to be shiny, doesn't need to be metallic, use Ultra Matte Varnish by AK. This is basically the best in the business right now. Everybody uses this stuff. And that's pretty much it, my friends. Let me know, how did I do? Do you like how the miniatures came out? What do you think of the recipe? No airbrush included whatsoever. Let me know in the comment section down below, what would you have done differently, and what is your Stormcast Eternals recipe? Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, my name has been Lazer. Subscribe if you enjoyed this style of content, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!